Hi guys, UK Guns here, and I'm back out again at the Bluefield Sports with Callum from English Shooting and Gunroom TV for part 2 of our Q&A session with Callum. So again, thanks Callum for meeting with me.
No problem at all.
So what advice would you give to existing shooters in the UK for protecting and promoting the sport?
Be careful what you put out online, for number one.
Definitely.
I can speak from personal experience on that one. At the end of the day, we're all in a way representing. You know, I get a lot of comments, about why do I think that, I'm necessarily qualified or in a way experienced enough to be representing the sport. And I think it doesn't just come to people that run channels. It's people that are posting photos on their personal social media. They're showing people down the pub, or when they meet up with them, from around friends' house and stuff like that. And I think we all have a responsibility to look at what we are posting, and does that reflect the UK shooting community in the best light? And I certainly have made mistakes personally in doing that. I haven't necessarily put the best content out there in the past, but you've got to learn. So posting on social media is, it's a give and a take. There's a lot to be gained from it, a lot of promotion for it, and we should certainly be maximising it and not shying away from it. But you definitely have to be conscious of what you're posting, both on a personal sort of security level and also as the community as a whole. So in terms of the growth and protecting, definitely posting more, and also protection is not necessarily a defensive thing, but it's also being proactive about it. And I think one of the biggest defenses in terms of protecting the sport is our numbers, getting more people into it.
Agreed.
You don't necessarily have to be sharing videos or pictures online, just talking to your friends, talking to people about it. I know there's a lot of people that are nervous even telling their colleagues that they take part in shooting, and talking about previous question about it being a dirty little secret. Well, we're not helping that by treating it like that. If someone has an issue that you shoot, I've always seen it's their issue. You're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, you're completely legal, and and as we regularly say, firearms owners are some of the most law-abiding citizens out there, because we're following very strict laws, and we're careful to do so in order to protect our sport and our passion. I'm very passionate about the shooting I do, and so I want to make sure that I'm doing everything correctly to ensure that I can continue doing that. So. I definitely think we could, again, like we spoke about before, with clubs promoting, if individual shooters promote it more as well, that's got the real sort of grassroots level to improve the sport.
Yeah.
Do you think, sorry to get political here, we'll try not to be too political, I promise, but I think it's worth mentioning, do you think Brexit will have a negative impact on shooting sports in the UK, or for UK shooters competing in Europe?
So the latter of that, definitely. So there was
We're already seeing some things, aren't we?
Yeah, there was a post or something I put out on the chat, or on the Facebook page a few days ago, as I'm filming this video, that the European firearms passes are no longer going to be issued. I think if they are currently issued, they're going to continue to be valid for a certain period, but as of the 1st of January 2021, you won't be able to apply for one. So you're then going to have to look at the individual countries' processes of taking guns into there. Now, there may become an agreement or some sort of system that replaces the European firearms pass, but for the short term, it's going to make it a little bit difficult. But overall, my decision, I voted leave, and actually that was based purely on shooting. So it's a big decision to make, and I think everyone should have made it based on their own personal interests, and be selfish about it. Which is better for me as an individual? And if we all make that decision as an individual, as a collective, as a country, we would make the decision that's overall best for the country. So I broke down all of the aspects of my life, job, your friends, family, relationships, whatever, and basically the only thing that would have been affected for me would have been shooting. And at the time, the EU was the biggest threat to new legislation, so the magazine restrictions that they were looking at bringing in, the lead ban, things like that. So I thought, well, actually this is the greatest threat to my sport at this time, so it would be better not to have any association with them. So it really just came down to that. So I think ultimately as long as our government doesn't, you know, actively try to keep in line with the EU, and we're allowed a little bit more freedom in terms of our firearms law, I think there is the potential for things to be better than if we were with the EU. So short-term pain, but I think a long-term gain.
Yeah, fingers crossed. How can existing shooters get into competition shooting in the UK? So this is something, you know, somebody who's already going along to a club quite regularly, but perhaps their club doesn't run competitions or have direct involvement. What would be their kind of first port of call to get into competitions?
So I think it's going to vary massively between the disciplines. Different organisations will have, you know, different routes into competition, but you know, take the CPSA, probably one of the largest and more frequent competitions that are run are playground competitions. Well, the CPSA, again, on their website, they're going to have all the events. You become a member of that organisation and you can sign up to those events, and a lot of, you know, grounds will have some sort of affiliation, and that means that they then have access and a link to be able to filter people into competitions that maybe they're not necessarily running, but they'll be able to say, well, the ground over here, they've got a competition then. But again, most clubs, most ranges will do some level of competition. A good level to start at is an inter-club, either inter-club or within the club competition. So, you know, my experience mostly of competitions has been practical shooting. I started at a club level, so it was Phoenix in Slimford, and they didn't have training sessions. Every single time they were at the range, it was a match, and they did it once every week, once every couple of weeks. And then you find, well, what's the national governing body for practical shooting? Well, it's the UK PSA. They're obviously associated with IPSC, and they are responsible for holding the IPSC matches here. So you sort of get a taste for it, you get some experience at a club level, then really look to the national governing bodies and see what competitions they're putting on a national level, and then you'll be able to filter through to it. So I think, again, a lot of information for the specific discipline can be found on the website of these national governing bodies, be that the NRA, NSRA, CPSA, UK PSA, or the others that are available.
Yeah, get online.
Yes.
So what advice would you give to those wanting to get into competition shooting but with a limited budget?
Don't make a barrier to yourself. I started practical shooting with an over and under shotgun. I mean, sort of funny enough, the over and under is more expensive than any of the semi-autos that I've ever owned, but you can pick up a 3-shot, you know, 2+1 Stoger for like £200-300 second hand. That will be good enough. You know, I'd personally advise, you know, avoiding some types of guns just because of the cost, but for me, the Stoger offers the greatest entry for the lowest price. So yeah, £200-300. But if you want to go, if you've got an old over and under in the safe, go and try it with that. You don't need to have all the best gear out there. You can load from your pockets. You can load from a clay pouch.
Get you used to your loadings if you're using a 2+1. You get quickly get proficient.
And that's it. So you don't get obsessed of, well, I don't have the best this, I don't have the best that. When you first start that competition, you're not going to be at the top. You just have to go in and get the experience and get the enjoyment. So, you know, it will be your own ability holding you back rather than the gear to start off with. So don't worry about it. Just get into it with whatever gun you can get hold of. Again, talked earlier, Connor's first semi-auto was a 20 quid Ruger 1022. Well, whilst that's more of a gallery gun, you see them on the mini rifle circuit, you see them used for a whole plethora of different disciplines. So
I think doing some research as well online and finding, you know, if it's competition accessories you're looking for or those kinds of things. You know, if you want to add bits to your existing gun or whatever to make it more competition friendly, then you can do a bit of research online, and there are some bargains out there to be had. Obviously, in the UK we're at a bit of a disadvantage. Anything to do with shooting is typically more expensive here than it is anywhere else. But sometimes you do find some good stuff. It might be somebody selling off some stuff that they had, you know, some competition bits and pieces, or, you know, some of the magload stuff. You know, I found that recently and found that was really well priced, and I thought, you know, to make my 1522 competition ready on a budget is a really good option. So there are options out.
And I found the forums. There was a forum that was always on airgun BBS, and whilst it is an airgun focused forum, they have an FAC section, and you get people that are selling guns privately, and if you keep an eye on it, you will pick up bargains. course, there's the more well-known Gun Trader and Gunstar. Then you can pick up second-hand equipment and guns on those, and also the groups. You know, he's keeping an eye on the groups on Facebook. People, you know, if they've upgraded stuff, if they've moved to discipline, you can usually get bundles of kit for a ridiculous discount because people just want to shift it on.
And they're happy to help out newer shooters and those kinds of things as well.
It, yeah.
Definitely. And in your club, if you're a member of a club, we see that a lot as well. Club members helping out other club members. Okay, last one then is: would you say that dry fire training is useful for competition type shooting, or would you say it's a waste of time?
Oh, it's essential. I wouldn't say it's necessarily whether it's a question of being useful or beneficial. It's essential. Certainly for practical shooting and sort of any shooting, it's all about muscle memory. So whether you're doing long distance precision rifle shooting, you get on your kitchen floor, getting your lounge floor, getting your position, practicing your trigger pull, things like that, and your breathing. You can learn a lot and discipline yourself quite a lot with just on your household floor. And with practical shooting, where it's very dynamic, you're wanting to shave fractions of seconds off of everything you do, from reloading, quad loading, whatever gun you're using, to bringing a pistol out of a holster, and all of that can be trained to a certain extent in a bedroom, in a kitchen, in a living room. And we were talking before we started filming about practical shotgun, and one of the biggest elements of that is loading. Well, you buy some dummy carts, you can stand in your bedroom all day long, it won't cost you a single penny, and you can get down your quad loading, you can practice option 3 starts, you can simulate malfunctions, and
YouTube's a great forum for learning stuff as well for that. I was just saying to Callum before we were filming that I was struggling with dual loading with a shotgun, and I saw a video that Lena Michalak put out, and it just made it click for me, and all of a sudden I was able to do it fairly consistently. Still not there on the quad loading, but I've made improvements just by watching a YouTube video, so it's a great platform for that as well. And there's lots. I think people don't realise how much dry fire training you can do. It's not just about changing a magazine. There's so much more that you can do. You could paste a target up at the other end of a room or whatever, and just practice bringing a rifle up into your shoulder and having the sight on the target, and practicing that just repetition, so that you're getting that consistent start every time, coming from a low ready, or coming from whatever. So you're practicing that when that competition starts, you can bring the rifle up onto target straight away every time.
I was speaking to quite an accomplished shooter, Nick Toundrow, and he's won like the Ely Speed Steel matches. He's won a lot of stuff across the UK over his shooting career, and something that stuck with me from talking to him is he said, world champions touch their guns every single day in some aspect. It's about being familiar with it. It can't be alien. You need to have that gun as an extension of you, and you're only going to get to that point by handling it all of the time, running around the house with it when you get an opportunity, getting obviously down to the range as much as you can, but just certainly again for practical shooting, where you are moving around, you're taking your hand off the gun and repositioning it, just getting a feel for where your hands need to be, and as you say, with getting it in and out of the shoulder, that's all stuff that you don't need to go and effectively waste time down the range doing. There's a lot more that you can be doing down the range when you're there. All of that other stuff you can be doing at home, so you can maximise your sort of range.
And that's the thing,
training.
we're not saying that dry fire training replaces range time, because range time and getting that practical experience of being out there and doing it is obviously invaluable, but as a complement to it. Especially when, as you say, it's free. Just to be at home practicing those drills, it's free, and it's going to really, really help you. I know it certainly helped me with some things like reloads and things like that. With my practical shooting, it really, really helped. And in current times, during lockdown, when all the ranges were closed and we couldn't do that, I did do some dry fire training, so that I kept that muscle memory, kept those skills, remembering how to do things. So when we get back at it, it's not going to be like, oh, I haven't done this for 9 months, I don't really know what I'm doing. So yeah, definitely I think dry fire training is really, really important.
I think as well, with the increase in technology available for dry fire drills, so companies like Point Blank Simulator, or Point Blank Rangers, it's a laser simulator, and again, it's not there's still a margin between that and the real thing, But again, that adds another element to reloading and doing dry drills and stuff like that, because
even just a shot timer.
yes, yeah, because you're focusing. If you're there just doing the same reload, well, you're consciously knowing you're going to reload. So actually getting into a simulator and you're focusing on the target, and you have to in some cases react to it, or it's about your planning of the stage and things like that. So that's where dry drilling just on yourself, with the equipment, you can get into you can be a drill monkey very, very fast, very quick. But when it comes into a competition, when you're meant to be focusing on everything else, then that's when it can fall down, because you can be very, very good in isolation at doing something, but tying it all together. So things like the laser simulators are very good tools to sort of get more dry fire sort of competition experience. And then you've got bits of kit like the Mantis X, so it's not, you're not doing it dumb effectively. You're not, I think that reload was good. The Mantis X will measure every data point possible of the angle, the time, and everything. So you can trace and go, well, actually, I'm losing this fraction of a second in the draw, or I'm taking too long getting it on target, and it's got trigger analysis and stuff like that. So even in a dry fire drill, it can tell if you're pulling the trigger one way, if your finger's on it correctly, and things like that. So there's a lot of tech out there that can certainly maximise your dry fire drills. That you don't necessarily need it. It's just another benefit.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much, Callum.
No problem.
Leave us a comment if you do dry fire, or if you don't do dry fire, why. Leave us a comment, and if you haven't liked and subscribed already, please do so, and go over and like English Shooting and Gunroom TV if you haven't done that, and subscribe to them. I'll leave a link to them in the description, as well as to Bluefield Sports Facebook page for letting us come out here and use their air rifle range today for shooting the video and other bits and pieces. Well, we really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.